What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for TheLines.com, and boy, it is here. We have football again, and I cannot be more excited. I can't be more excited about what we've got going on over at The Lines as well. Thank you guys for coming back. Thank you guys for supporting this channel. Really do appreciate it. We're going to have awesome content all season long, and starting right here with Thursday night football to kick the season off with the Rams and the Bills. A little bit of housekeeping. If you are brand new to us, listen, head over. Of course, go ahead and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Everything we do is absolutely free. So do that. Go ahead and like the thing. Let us know in the comments, what's going on. But also, we're giving away a lot of money. We're giving away gift cards. We're giving stuff all season long. So again, right here, if you come to the Lines, you'll go up to NFL. You'll just click on Thursday Night Football. It will take you to this page right here where you can get in to try to win a $100 Amazon gift card, and you can get into a $10,000 free NFL Pick'em Pool contest. By the way, free $10,000, so be sure and do that, guys. Get all over that. If you're new to us, again, hey, if you're here for just picks and nothing else, probably the wrong place, at least these videos that I do. I get into some analysis here, try to tell you why I think the way things are going to go, so it's not a little 45-second, oh, here's the pick and move on. I'm going to try to give you some analysis behind all of this stuff, and hopefully somewhere along the way we make some money, make everybody some better bettors, and at least make you think about these games in a different way. So let's go. Bills and the Rams right here. As you see, we are sitting at 2.5, depending on where you look. So there are 2s, there are 2.5s. If we want to go, we can actually do the blended here, and you can see 51.5, 52, kind of sitting where this total is. As we know with standalone games, unless just tons and tons of groups and pros get involved here, typically these totals get bet and the number rises, right? Nobody wants to bet unders. Nobody wants to do that whatsoever. So with this being the first game of the year, with us having new states that have never bet on football before, my guess would be the 51.5 doesn't last. The 52 might not even last. We might get to 52.5, and who knows, maybe even 53 by the time this thing kicks off. I don't think we'll get to a field goal in favor of the Bills because, again, the Rams are coming off of winning the Super Bowl, of course, super popular team. Lots of hype around them, and rightfully so. So I don't think we'll get to the full field goal, but certainly keep an eye out for that if that were to be the case in this game. So I'll scroll down a little bit if you want to read some of the stuff here that's going on with all of this. But listen, let's just get into what the Rams did in the offseason. As we know, they lost Kevin O'Connell, so he's gone. Liam Cohen comes in. He was the quarterback's coach here 2 years ago. So he's very familiar with this team and this offense. He went over, was offensive coordinator at Kentucky, so he comes in and takes over there. Bring in Allen Robinson, bring in Bobby Wagner, bring in Troy Hill. That said, they lose Von Miller, lose Sebastian Joseph Day, lose Darius Williams along the way. Robert Woods, of course, out of town as well. So not all great for them in the offseason, but not the end of the world either when it comes down to it. So you're looking at a team here that was 5th overall DVOA last year. They were very good in all aspects, 8th offense, 5th defense, 4 special teams. So if you take a look at where these projections kind of lead this team, still one of the top 5 teams in the NFL. If you look at Football Outsiders and what they project from a DVOA standpoint, 4th overall in the league. If you kind of go down to what Pro Football Focus is looking at here, they have them as the number 3 power rated team heading into the season as well. Offensive line should be kind of in that top 10-ish range. Yet again, they did have Andrew Whitworth retire, but Joseph Noteboom was a really solid replacement for them, so he should be able to step in and do something. If you look at these receivers, of course, this is going to be a top 10 group, if not a top 5 group. When you have Cooper Kupp, of course, that automatically launches you up there pretty high. But you add Allen Robinson, you've got Tyler Higbee. Now, Van Jefferson is out, so he has officially been ruled out for this game. He's not going to play, but Tutu Atwell's kind of been running as the number 3 guy, and it seems like he might get some run here for them. But again, Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, Tyler Higbee, they're going to be perfectly fine. The defensive line, oh, by the way, Aaron Donald's still on this team. It's the number 1 defensive line in the NFL as we head into the season. Between Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd A'Shawn Robinson, Justin Hollins. I mean, like, look, Gaines. You got Greg Gaines in there as well. You just have a unbelievably talented defensive line that certainly is going to make it really tough for this Bills team to run, for sure. I expect there to be throwing quite often. Now, the secondary is good. Obviously, you still have Jalen Ramsey out there. David Long on the other side. Troy Hill now slots in kind of that nickel corner. And so it's a good secondary, but I think you have to go path of least resistance here if you're the Bills, and that's going to be through the air, and certainly not trying to run against Aaron Donald and company. I mean, listen, that defensive line is just so incredibly talented. I'll scroll some more here if you guys want to take a look at some of the other stuff written here on the page as we go on. On the Bills side of things, and as we know, this Bills team is prone to throwing the football much more as it is anyway, right? I mean, like, we know, one of the most pass-happy teams that there is. That said, is that going to continue under Ken Dorsey, who is now the offensive coordinator? As we know, Brian Daboll, one of the hottest names in all of coaching, is now gone. He's with the New York Giants. So with that, Ken Dorsey comes in, takes over as offensive coordinator. What did they do in the offseason? Lots. Bring in Von Miller. They brought in Roger Saffold at right guard. Jordan Phillips at linebacker. Jamison Crowder in slot. That said, doesn't look like he's going to go, or at least not going to start here. He's been battling injuries all camp. Look like it's going to be Isaiah McKenzie in the slot for the Bills here in this one. O.J. Howard also on the team now. So they have those guys now out. Some guys did leave. Mario Addison's gone. Jerry Hughes is gone. Emmanuel Sanders is gone. Harrison Phillips is gone. Levi Wallace is gone. So there were some defections from this Bills team. It wasn't all good in the offseason, but pretty good. And listen, they had a first-round draft pick that they used on Kyer Elam. He's going to step in at corner and provide some depth, maybe even some safety for them. They took running back James Cook in the second round, who is likely to get some run for this team as well. Linebacker and Terrell Bernard in the third round. All these guys going to play for sure for this team. And now we know Super Bowl favorite. If you're looking at this Bills squad, we know they're really, really good. Short shot, taking tons of money, getting tons of hype. And this is, rightfully so. I mean, number 2 overall team DVOA in 2021. They project to be just as good this year. If there was any sort of knock on this team, it might be the offensive line, which is probably only kind of a middle of the pack offensive line. That said, when you have a quarterback as mobile as Josh Allen, who's going to run, who's going to move the pocket and things like that, you can hide at least some of the deficiencies that you're going to get with this offensive line for sure. But as far as, the other groups on the field, they're awesome, right? The pass catching group, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox at tight end. We just mentioned Isaiah McKenzie's probably going to be the third guy until Jamison Crowder's ready to go, but it's going to be awesome. Defensive line, Von Miller, Daquan Jones, Greg Russo, they're going to be good as well. Secondary, going to be without Tre'Davious White for the first 4 weeks of the season. He is put on the PUP list, so that is certainly a knock. So Kyer Elam, that rookie I was just talking about, going to have to step up, going to have to play big for this team those first 4 weeks. But still, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, it is a very, very talented secondary for this team as well. So if we take a look here as how this game is going to go, full disclosure, I played the Bills as 2-point favorites about a month and a half ago. And the reason is I thought there was a non-zero chance that maybe Matthew Stafford missed this game. Remember, he dealt with this elbow issue all camp long, and depending on various reports is how bad do you think it might be. I mean, it sounded like it was going to be bad, then it came out that it wasn't as bad, and everybody's kind of talking about, maybe it was a bigger deal than we thought, right? And so I guess maybe if we take a look, and I'll scroll back up here to the odds so you can take a look, but I guess it's not as big of a deal. Matthew Stafford's going to go. And listen, I think if this was a deal, they'd have held him out, right? I mean, they've got a lot to play for. This team is built to win now. You can't be running out your quarterback and taking a chance on anything going wrong in the early weeks of the season if he wasn't ready to go. So I think Stafford's going to be fine. That said, I don't hate my 2 ticket. Would I bet the line as it sits right now? I really wouldn't. I think this game is as close to a coin flip as it comes. So if anything, if you told me you wanted to put the Rams and open up a teaser leg on them and take this 2.5 out to 8.5 and pair it up with the million of different teaser options that you have this week, some really great teaser options in week 1 of the NFL. I wouldn't hate that either. I mean, listen, I do slightly favor the Bills, but I can't see this being a blowout. Certainly can't see this thing getting outside of 8 points in this game. So, again, if I was starting from ground zero here, I'd be opening up a teaser leg with the Rams. Now, if this thing does get to a field goal, for some reason this thing gets to a field goal, again, I'm not going to play back against myself here, but if I was starting at ground level at 0, if this thing got to a field goal, I would take the Rams at home as field goal dogs. So that's something to monitor the line between now and kickoff. If it does happen to get there, I think that would be the way to go as well. From a total side of things, as we said, if this thing gets bet up all the way to 53, on principle, I'm just going to have to come in on the under. I mean, it's not that I don't believe in these two offenses, because obviously I do, but 53 points is just an incredible amount of points. It's first game of the season. What if this Stafford elbow thing is not, complete BS? What if what if they throw it less, right? I mean, what if they run it more? I think that is certainly within the range of outcomes, right? And from a Bills side of things, I mean, look, we just assume this offense is going to spin like a top, but we don't really know, I mean, like this is game 1 against the best defensive line that there is in football, or at least one of the top 2 or 3 that there is in football. So, I mean, Josh Allen could struggle here in game 1. And that's not a knock on the Bills. I mean, that means the Bills can be perfectly fine and win the rest of their games the rest of the season, and struggling or losing to the Rams would not be that big of a thing. I mean, Rams are projected to be one of the best teams in the NFL. So I would come in, if this thing does get up to 53, I'm probably going to come in on the under as well. Some bets that are in my account. Again, if you are new to the lines, you come over to the lines, odds, prop finder tool right there. If you're doing this on mobile, same deal, odds, prop finder tool right there. It'll take you here. You can type in a name. You can toggle your state over here, and it'll show you, what's going on with all of this. Allen Robinson is a guy that in this number right here at Rivers, over 59.5. I played over 60.5, so that's actually a better number. It is juiced a little bit, so I got the over 60.5 at 115, at 112, I think it was. But listen, Cooper Kupp, I can only imagine, if you're the Bills, especially considering you're going out here without Tre'Davious White, you are going to be looking to try and neutralize Cooper Kupp in any way humanly possible. And I think that means double coverage, like just playing over the top on him, all the different stuff like that, double team, anything you can possibly do to keep Cooper Kupp from beating you in this game. And I think that's going to create some opportunity for Allen Robinson. And I think there's 2 ways to this getting home, because you know what? Maybe they don't even do that with Cooper Kupp, but Allen Robinson is Allen Robinson, right? I mean, like, listen, he has played with some of the worst quarterbacking that you've ever seen in the history of football. And Allen Robinson can go out there and get this done, even if they don't double team Cooper Kupp, even if he is, a focus of this defense. Allen Robinson was thought of to be one of the top 10 receivers in all the NFL as early as 2 years ago. So I think it's kind of fallen a little bit under the radar what a big pickup this is for this team and how good Allen Robinson actually is. And as long as Matthew Stafford is healthy, which is what they're telling us that arm and elbow's fine. I think him getting to 60 yards is certainly within the range of outcomes here. I like the over on that for Allen Robinson. My next prop, we're coming over here. This one's found at DraftKings. Come to the props, go to the rush receiving props, under rushing yards, Darrell Henderson over 28.5. Now, this is a hunch from me. So if you want to fade this one, totally understand. But everything we've been hearing out of camp is that this is not going to be as much of a bell cow roll for, try to say that 3 times, but bell cow roll for Cam Akers as it was towards the end of last season. So if we are getting more of a 60-40, or even a 75, even a, 65-35, something like that in split and touches, then Darrell Henderson is going to get over 28.5 rushing yards in this game. Like that's going to happen. Now, if we don't get that and it's 90-10, then this bet's going to be dead, most likely, unless he's just super hyper efficient. But I'm going out on a hunch that these guys that know what they are talking about, that live and breathe this team, are looking and understanding that, hey, we don't want Cam Akers, who we really, really believe in and trust, to go and just get beat up all season long. Let's kind of split this load just a little bit more. We believe in Darrell Henderson too. And if that's the case, then I am going over on 28.5 rushing yards. We'll find out exactly what kind of split they have in this backfield in this game, but that's where I'm going with this. I'm going to believe the beat writers. I'm going to believe what I heard coming out of camp. Final prop for me in this one is Gabriel Davis. Again, we're going to go to the prop tool. We're going to hit Gabriel Davis. This is going to come up. It's not going to be receiving yards, even though I don't hate the over on his receiving yards. I think Gabriel Davis is going to get a ton of looks in this offense, but I like the receptions. And look, 3.5 has gotten juiced to hell. That's him getting 4 catches in this game. But then you get over here and you can get to the over 4.5. So one more catch. We need 5 instead of 4. And we're getting plus money, plus 118. So if we think Josh Allen is going to complete, if we think the path of least resistance against this Rams team is going to be throwing the ball, then he's going to be throwing the ball a ton in this game. And if that's the case, and we believe that this offense can be efficient, and I believe that, and I think you believe that, then Gabriel Davis, this can't just run completely through Stephon Diggs. Like, Gabe Davis is going to have to be a major part of this offense. And he's going to have to be a major part of them having success on the offensive side of the ball. So for me, I think 5 catches in a game that, with a total of 52 right now, could get up to 52.5, 53. Points are going to be scored. Yards are going to be gained. They're going to go up and down the field. If you believe what this total says, then 5 catches for me on Gabriel Davis at plus money. That's the best thing about this. At plus money is absolutely awesome. I love the over 4.5 catches for Gabriel Davis as well. If you find somehow a better number than at whatever book for the over 3.5, of course you can play that, but I'll take the plus money at 4.5 as opposed to just this heavily juiced 3.5 right here. Guys, this is awesome. Football is back. Of course, again, head over to the lines. Look, $10,000 free pick'em pool. It's free. Just sign up and play. Absolutely free. $10,000. And of course, for this game, you can win a $100 Amazon gift card as well. Up here in the right-hand corner, that's a little Discord icon. You can also sign up for that because we're in there talking NFL all the time as well. So please go in there and join in on the discussion. Again, go ahead, hit subscribe. We really do appreciate your support here on this channel. Good luck on all your bets on Thursday night.